introduction that I wrote this afternoon, last minute, and truthfully, my printer froze, and the computer then froze, and so 16 pages is now a few notes. I'm sorry. But this evening we do begin, as Mr. Kowalski said, a celebration where we...
of the Mothers Club permanent collection of art, which is displayed on a rotating basis throughout the halls of Morgan Park Academy. In addition, a digital copy of the work is made and becomes part of our archival collection, which is located in the man's... With a $50 savings prize, stay up for 1 minute. We wanted you to show your piece. This artwork is an oil pastel drawing looking at the elements of wind. We'll hold it for her. Privilege again to award this year's Mothers Club Award for Outstanding Performance in Drama to Natalie Morgan. From the teacher's wish list, funding of the Lit Magazine and Festival, sponsorships including Upper School Project Week, funding of the new preschool through 12th grade Art in the Classroom program, which will begin next year, and the Mothers Club annual gift to the school, which this year will be an additional benefit.
Thank you, Jim. Perhaps next year we could get a vote from the students, and as opposed to letting Jim have all the fun and selecting themes, we could select one for Jim. Maybe we could nominate music, maybe Mr. DJ. I know that the focus of the evening is you, the students, but I asked Mr. Adams for a few minutes to make an additional presentation. There are many individuals in the background that are part of your school years. Many go unnoticed. Somewhere during the past year, I ran across an information card in the Fathers Club checkbook. And what struck me was the realization that the involvement of this individual went back to at least 1991, and perhaps even before that. Working in the background with responsibilities for homecoming activities, pancake breakfast, sports banquets, sports teams barbecue, and 3 MPA graduates as well. On behalf of the MPA Fathers Club and the MPA community, I'd like to present this plaque for his years of service and commitment as president of the Fathers Club to Tom Strasser.
Present this award to 2 outstanding thespians, and Mrs. Paris Austin would be here tonight, but her grandmother passed away, and that's the only reason she's not here to honor our graduates as well. Our first award winner this evening came to us last year, but in that short time, he's made an indelible impression on our hearts. As Betsy Seward put it, we all have a people crush on this guy, and I asked her what was a people crush, and she said, well, it's not like infatuation, it's just, he's such a cool person, you just enjoy being around him, and I said, yeah, that fits. This young man came to Camelot tryouts and did a rousing soliloquy from Train Spotting in full Scottish accent that I'll never forget, and we decided that King Pellinor should definitely be Scottish as a result. And he is an awesome, mellow, and funny person. One quick story, I wish you could have seen him during Camelot rehearsals when he said, "You man, Pellinor," his retainer was flying out of his mouth. He just went over, picked it up, put it back in, and carried on self-sufficient. And truly, that is the nature of what it means to be a thespian, and I would like to honor Nick Elliott. Joined us in her junior year also. She has made a wonderful contribution to our community and to our theater program. She is very powerful when the lights come up on this young lady. She definitely worked hard and gave fully of herself. She can be wickedly funny as a witch and beautifully tragic as a queen. She's filled with dignity and integrity and extended herself into a wonderful world and took her responsibility seriously and maturely. I just wanted to say, Jenny, this is for you. Come up here, Victoria.
Okay. I'm here to give the Student Council Civic Achievement Award. It's the only award for a student elected by the students, and this year Student Council elected Poonam Rai. Congratulations.
McNeil's Navy. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Very briefly, if I may. The United States Naval Academy has a mission, just like Morgan Park Academy, is to train young men and women to be officers of the United States Navy, the United States Marine Corps. Over the past 9 months, approximately 12,000 young men and women have made application to go to the Naval Academy. Unfortunately, everybody cannot go. It only holds 4,000. The selection process is keen, the competition is keen, but the rewards are high. Approximately 10% will only make it into the academy. And I'd like to present one of those people, one of your classmates, Maria DePaul. Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Superintendent of the United States Naval Academy takes great pleasure in recognizing with this certificate of accomplishment the selection of Maria DePaulo for an offer of appointment to the United States Naval Academy with the class of 2005. And signed J.R. Ryan, Vice Admiral of the United States Navy.
The following students have been selected as all-conference players by the coaches of the Independent School League. I would like to recognize each individual athlete and the sport in which they were selected as an all-conference player. As I call your name, athletes, could you please come forward? And audience, could you please hold your applause until all the all-conference players are on the stage? Thank you. Volleyball, Lee Kodsman, Mia DePaulo. Soccer, John Coate.
Basketball, first team, Christine Linnerud, Eric Kelly. Basketball, second team, Jacqueline Mortimer, Shania Taylor, Afani Agwanunu. Baseball, Brandon Vaughn, Alex Hibbs, Christopher Vaughn. Softball, Christine Linnerud, Jacqueline Mortimer, Becca Frederick, Bree Axick, Natalie Frederick. Ladies and gentlemen, your all-conference players from Morgan Park Academy. Competed in cross country and she was a sectional qualifier. Erin Vaughn won her sectional. Eric Kelly. Up on the stage already, of course, and another one who's already on the stage, Miss Softball, for her second year in a row of being Player of the Year, Bree Axick. Ladies, and this of course is close to my heart because I coached these ladies. I coached softball for 21 years. Coach Drown took over and obviously did a great job. And once again, congratulations, ladies. I don't think this has ever happened in Academy history that I'm aware of that anybody has won 4 straight championships. Congratulations. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Male Athlete of the Year. He has played JV basketball for 1 year, varsity baseball for 4 years, varsity soccer for 2 years, varsity basketball for 3 years. He was also selected as second team all-conference for basketball, most valuable player for soccer. Ladies and gentlemen, Afani Agwanunu. If I was Mr. Cassavan. Okay. And now our Female Athlete of the Year, which by the way was very close between 2 outcomes, and congratulate Morgan Park Academy's Female Athlete of the Year. She has been a varsity volleyball, basketball, and softball player for 4 years, earning 12 varsity letters. She's been named as an all-conference basketball player all 4 years. She's been named Most Valuable Player in Basketball for 2 years. She has been named All-Conference Softball Player for 2 years. She was named to St. Benedict's Volleyball All-Tournament Team. She was named to Morgan Park Academy's All-Tournament Basketball Team. And she was named Best All-Around Player in Basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Christine Linnerud.
Volunteered to babysit because most students are here tonight. We're sitters, right? And so I'm thinking you're up here in the spotlight and she's not here to see you. So, and my son's not up here and my mom's here. So there you go. She is getting paid, yes. Paid laughter. Not doing very well, Mom. Okay, let's get on with it. Oh yeah, speaking of the Bulls theme song, you know, for years past we would give updates on the Bulls games. You remember that? When they were so close, it'd be the 6th game usually, or the 4th game. And now most of you are wondering how the White Sox and the Cubs are doing. Isn't that kind of cool tonight? Is anybody listening to the radio while they're sitting up there? Make up something about us. Here? We had some trouble getting the Crocodile Dundee theme song for Miss Drabon, but we did find something appropriate from a woman who hails from Australia. And here she is to present the Senior Art Award, Sandra Drabon.
An old Australian stockman, alive, dying. He gets up on one elbow and says to his mates who are gathered all around him, "Watch me wallabies feed." Dangerous breed, mate. So watch me wallabies feed. All together now, time to kangaroo down slow.
It has been my it has been my privilege to have a very talented artist amongst me, in my class. Mr. Ryan Chappelle each day worked in the art studio, and slowly his artwork was developed and unraveled. There were many, many days where I would look forward to see what amazing Chappelle would evolve in front of me. Some would take weeks, some would take hours, but each and every creation was equally amazing and creative and skillful. Ryan is an intelligent, dedicated, and sensitive artist. These qualities are reflected in his work. His enthusiastic attitude towards the arts will undoubtedly take him down many exciting and successful paths in life. It's my privilege and pleasure to offer the Senior Art Award to Mr. Ryan Chappelle.
We're not interchangeable. Everybody thinks we are, but we're not. So I'm going to speak first. The recipient of this year's Senior Vocal Music Award has grown immensely in the 4 years that I have known her. From the invisible member of the alto section, I couldn't recognize her after the first quarter because I didn't see her very much. She has grown to be a formidable presence with leadership to be reckoned with, an organizer, and a true artist in the best sense of the word. She has a wonderful set of pipes in the spirit of openness to learning. And with these qualities and the foundation of faith that she has, I think she's going to go far in her life and in the field of music. I'd like to give the award to Shania Taylor.
I've known since second grade, since he was in second grade. We shared experience with, we shared experience with Blue Blue, Noah's Ark, the Pied Piper of Hamelin. I actually found the program from the second grade play when he was in this, and I believe he played the part of a townsperson, so quite exciting stuff. In fourth grade, we worked with Recorder. In fifth grade, Hotel Hollywood. He began taking saxophone lessons from me in fourth grade. He has, for the last 5 years, played the school's ancient, decrepit, and pitiful relic of a tenor saxophone, which tomorrow he will be playing for the very last time. He was in high school band for 5 years. I moved him up in 8th grade. You've also seen him on stage as the Russian soldier on The Cowardly Lion, and as Lancelot most recently. He is a gifted instrumentalist and also a stunning vocalist as well, and I'd like to congratulate Philip Vasquez.
Swords are crossed, 'tis always the same, one blow, I know.
the most important lesson, the lesson that led him to discover that people have wars over things that don't really exist and that Mike should fight for right. Arthur learned that lesson when Merlin changed him into a hawk. This hawk we painted as a symbol of that transcendence and the importance of the lessons that Arthur learned from Merlin. The recipient of our Senior Drama Award deserves the Hawk Award because he transcended time and space to bring us to a place long ago and a mind far away but so sublime. And indeed, that is what art should do, that's what theater should do, and this person has done. You transported us and showed us something that is noble in the best sense of the word and beautiful. And I thank you, and I am so proud to present the award for Best Accomplishment in Drama this year to C.J. Kowalski.
I take it as irony of that, right? Okay. As a freshman, he was always careful, no, eager to hold the door for me. He always greeted me with a bright, "Hello, Miss Concannon." I thought, can this kid be for real? After 4 years with him in my class, and no, it wasn't 4 years of English 1, I came to learn that yes, James Day was for real. He has brought me books to read on dozens of subjects. He's engaged all of his teachers in intelligent conversation on literature and life. He's played with language, and he's been a joy to teach. He truly does deserve the Arthur A. Bayer English Award. Congratulations. Nice music selection. Mrs. Law really wanted to be here to present tonight, but since she couldn't, I'm standing in for her. But I'll read what she has written here. Some people have the gift of language, and this student is truly one of those people. Not many schools can boast of having a national French contest first place winner, but we did a few years back, and this boy was that student. His excellence in French encompasses not only reading and writing, but oral expression and literary analysis as well. He is perhaps best known for his abilities in science and computers, but tonight we are recognizing him for his achievement in French. I give you the most excellent foreign language student of the class of 2001, David Kavla.
The Senior Social Studies Award goes to an individual who has been in the upper school for the past 4 years, and in addition to taking the required world history and U.S. history, take at least one other year of social studies. This is somebody that I had, of course, as a freshman, and I had the pleasure to have him in class this past semester as well in political science, and this is an individual from both times I had him excelled very well in the classroom and is well deserving of the award. Philip Vasquez.
judgment. Boss, I'm going to go over here. Are you ready? Okay, I'm going to go over here and then just play like you would. Okay, here is Jim Kowalski.
When you find yourself in danger, when you're trapped in the issue, and it looks like you will take a licking, there is someone waiting who will hurry up and rescue you. Just come on.
What the hell does that have to do with me? I'm here seriously, though, to present the Annie E. Heath Mathematics Award as department chair. And I can say I've taught this young man for 3 of the 4 years, I believe. I don't think he can be a doctor because his handwriting is so gosh darn neat, as David Letterman might say. When calculus require essay questions every week, I could always know that Phil had double stapled his papers because the essays were so long and thorough and easy to read. And the teacher loves that. You give them that extra grade sometimes because you're so happy it's neat. I have his statistics as well. He created some wonderful projects, one which was testing whether people learn better if they're exposed to certain kinds of music. It was Phil singing Camelot, and it was inconclusive, which is just fine in statistics, almost everything is. He's an incredible math student. Things come so quickly to him, and he recalls things like that all the time. I'm amazed, because he's so busy with his life. As you know, he's in the Chicago Children's Choir, and he's in all the plays, and he's involved in many activities in his community. So, I'm real pleased to give the Mathematics Award to Phil Vasquez again.
This is a year to live through. And as the time came to look at the top science award, I started going through the grades and then kept adding names and trying to come up with the numbers. Turns out that there were approximately 5 or 6 that were very, very close, and we got to do some long ways past the decimal to figure out who should receive this award. This award is presented by the Illinois Science Teacher Association for outstanding leadership in the school, as well as academic achievements and interest in the field of science. This is for 4 years. It's my pleasure to award this to Mohan Bhopal. Wanted to come up here twice and see if you could make that step. James Day.
Certainly, he's the perfect person to give the next award. It's a faculty favorite. We'll never forget what's his or her name award. He writes the inscription, and here he is to present it. Barry?
Raleigh's merengue and that music. I want to emphasize that I'm just a designated reader of this, that this really is the faculty award. This year's recipient gives a new meaning to that quaint MPA term, lifer. A lifer, for those of you who don't know, is someone who has spent his entire academic career, 13 or 14 years, at MPA. This year's lifer went beyond that. He was born here, on campus, in a house right over there on 111th Street. Someone once said, it might have been Shakespeare, uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. But not even Shakespeare got it right every time. This year's recipients wore that crown easily and early, too. There was a time, however, when we thought he didn't have a brain, and perhaps not a solid bone in his body either, as he flopped and flipped about this very stage in a very good imitation of Ray Bolger tripping down the yellow brick road. This year he showed us on this stage again the heart and stomach of a king. Not any king, but a once and future king at that. Oh, but he was a king one other time. And some of you may have forgotten that in Miss Morrison's class in kindergarten, he was the no contest, all bets are off choice to take the starring role in Maurice Sendak's Where the Wild Things Are. And he has been king of the wild things ever since. And so, C.J. Kowalski, we will never forget you, but we want you to remember that, as Hamlet said, he who plays the king is most welcome.
He's the man, but he's so much more. And it doesn't make any difference if he's the principal and you're called there. He's the man. So I got this song for you, so people will be rest assured you're gentle with them and you're wise, and I think you're a wonderful principal. Here is Mr. Hibbs.
Don't be discouraged, the man ain't so hard to run.
About Monday morning, 8 o'clock, my office, and you thought you were taking AP Biology next year. Good evening. It's nice to be out of my blue Rutherford office, where I've seen a lot of stuff happen in the last 9 months. Going to a assembly or a play or a sporting event or a sports banquet or honors night is always one of the highlights of my year, and tonight is no exception. A few quick announcements. Attendance. Make sure if you're a freshman, sophomore, or junior, you see Mr. Cannon, Mr. Salvatore, Mr. Hazel. Prom. An award that nobody knows about if you didn't go there. King and Queen of Prom. Nikki, Frontera, Tom O'Reilly. Yeah. They were beautiful. I've never seen Tom or a handsome Nikki that dress I want for my daughter. It was absolutely stunning. You were elegant, enchanting, and beautiful. 9:30 a.m. seniors prompt. Looks like the weather will be wonderful. Gentlemen, earrings on after you receive your diploma.
Yeah.
Brian, that includes you. I'd like to thank the Mothers Club for providing refreshments for our reception after this evening's honors night. And for the rest of you, 10 o'clock sharp will be graduation. Get there early for the seats. A number of awards and special recognitions. First, there was a lot of whining the second semester, despite the no whining sign in my office about the new attendance policy that started. Most students haven't even been impacted at all by the new rule changes, except mostly the seniors who enjoyed their first semester with no consequences until the new rules went into effect, and a few of them served detentions during their senior privilege time during that period.
For one who drives 55 miles one way to school every day, you would expect Jason Ginter to be a regular member of the Friday morning tardy to school detention club. But his near perfect attendance record and his perfect record of never being late to school throughout high school merits a special award in itself. He's so efficient in coming to school, it is rumored that even he has time to eat breakfast at Burger King also. Lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star-Spangled Banner. James? Good morning. Will the audience please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the national anthem and benediction? Ceremonies become another proud moment in the history of our school. More specifically, because of their remarkable accomplishments and because of the wonderful and unique personalities that make up this class, it is my hope that we will always remember them as a very special group of young people. It's an extraordinary educator that we are able to enjoy this wonderful day. The first group then is the Board of Trustees, one of whom is also here as a parent of a senior. Quietly, without fanfare, led by Mrs. Deborah Bertoletti, the trustees create and set the policies which enable us to operate our school. For your tireless volunteer hours and your extraordinary contributions to Morgan Park Academy, we thank you. Would those of you who are here also please stand, the trustees? Brunel, Northwestern, University of Michigan, and the Medical Scholars Program at St. Louis University. Another has been accepted directly into the pharmacy program at Ohio Northern University. Both individually and as a group, they represent some of the brightest and best students in the entire state of Illinois. It is our firm conviction that in the competitive world of college and beyond, they will continue to thrive and to grow and ultimately be recognized as leaders in their generation. For all of their accomplishments to date, we commend them, and on this, their commencement day, I would like to take this opportunity to wish them health, happiness, and success in all their future endeavors. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2001. James's speech is apparently in Mr. Hissell's. Country Day School before joining a local radio station, KHEB, in Minnesota, as a drive time radio personality. That's his doing, not mine. Finally, he realized that he misses teaching. In his letter to Mr. Jones at the time, he wrote, "Through my varied professional experiences, I have learned one thing above all else. I remain a teacher at heart. Further, I have learned that the fulfillment which comes from directing and interacting with young people is missing in my life in my present profession as a radio personality." And so he came to Morgan Park Academy, where he has taught all levels of mathematics, from algebra to geometry to calculus. He is known as an imaginative, creative teacher who works incredibly hard to adapt the material to the learning styles of his students. A year ago, I asked Jim to become the chair of the mathematics department. He also began and still oversees the internal radio station, WMPA, and has begun and still oversees the famous Kowalski Football League, tag football in the fall. Married to Dr. Vicki Williams, their son CJ is a graduating senior this year, and they have a daughter, Olivia, who is less than 1 year old. Husband, parent, coach, colleague, and most important, teacher to us all. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, James Kowalski. Jim?
Thank you very much. Members of the board, can I remove your folder? Just Headmaster Adams, Principal Hibbs, alumni, I saw some of you, guests and graduates, thanks for allowing me this opportunity. It's kind of rare, it'll be the only time I'm sure. I must tell you that I'm somewhat as you are, somewhat uneasy about being up here. Most times, men and women who are invited to commencement speakers are famous or personalities, not in small radio stations. But I was kind of, or the other alternative was that they're about ready to die. So I thought maybe Bill Adams and my family knew something about my health that I wasn't aware of. So I went to my doctor and asked him point blank, how long do I have to live? And he replied, 10. And I said, 10? He said, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Fortunately, he was kidding. I turned for some advice then, when I thought perhaps I'd be up here. My wife's advice, don't embarrass my son, CJ. CJ's advice, don't embarrass yourself, Dad. Principal Hibbs' advice, go ahead and embarrass yourself, but turn it into a positive thing. Mr. Adams' advice, there is no such thing as embarrassment. Doc Brown's advice, don't spit into the wind. Mr. Linderwood's advice, gosh, geez, I don't know. Mrs. Butler's advice, just submit your speech in writing to the office 24 hours beforehand. I asked Mr. Salvatore for advice, but like the student homework he has yet to grade, he has not gotten back to me. And then I asked some students. I asked David, who got angry with me for interrupting him in the computer room. Tom loaned me his Mexican apron. I couldn't quite get what Nader was advising me. Brian Calverton said, "I've got more advice for Mr. Hibbs when you see him." And Jackie Mortimer just rolled her eyes at me. After all of the good advice, I went back to Bill Adams to plead, "Why me?" He said, in effect, because my son was born in that blue house right to the right behind here in the bedroom on the second floor. And you've been here, and he's been here a long time. You haven't been fired, he hasn't been suspended. Besides, Bill's first choice, Richie's in Alaska. The last time Bill Adams asked me to consider something, it was to consider San Antonio. My wife, Vicki, CJ, and I did consider San Antonio, and to make a long story short, our one-year-old daughter, Olivia, is the result. Thank you, Bill and Nancy, for that. Does anyone know the truth? Well, there was a man in my position not too long ago, very successful in many things. Nice family, wealth, but he had a drive to know what truth was. So he sold everything, he left his family, and he went out looking for truth. For many months he searched. Finally he found it on a high mountain in a small village, in a cave actually, just outside of Kenosha. He found her Truth. Her real name was Lois Truth, but she went by Truth. Let me describe Truth to you. This is rather important. It was not a pretty sight. Truth was a very old woman, so old that if you told her her age, she might die. She had a single tooth in her mouth. Her hair hung down on her shoulders with greasy, lank strands. Her skin was pale. It was important to know how repulsively ugly she was. So ugly, her husband took her all the way to work not to have to kiss her goodbye. Long protruding hairs grew out of her. Well, you're getting the idea. That being said, though, the man knew he had found truth. And the woman allowed him to stay for a year and a day and told him truth. And he knew it was truth. All too soon, though, for the man, it was time to return to the world. And about when he was ready to leave, he turned to Truth and said, "Thank you. What can I do to repay you? Tell me something I can do for you." And she said, "There's only one thing." She raised her finger to her head and said, "When you tell them about me, tell them I live in a palace, tell them I'm beautiful, tell them I'm young and vivacious." What? I love that story, more than you do, obviously. Because does it mean there's no truth? Does it mean that truth is a sham? Well, what does the man do now? After he spent a year learning truth, what does he do with what he learned? For instance, he learned there is a God. Extraterrestrials never visited Earth. Indeed, global warming is happening. When angry, you need only count to 8. The chicken came first. Ginkgo biloba does nothing for you. You are only as good as the last player on your bench. Gore really won in Florida. Don't be too quick to label others. Treat others as you would want to be treated. A dress code can include earrings for boys. If you judge people, you have no time to love them. Leno is not as funny as Letterman. If a style comes back in fashion and you wore it back then, don't wear it again. It's pronounced W, not W. Dew point tells you if it's comfortable, not relative humidity. It's news, not news. And hopefully is an adverb. It doesn't mean I hope. I also love the story because there's a dilemma. We wrap ourselves tightly in what we think is the truth. We're so sure we've got the moral, ethical, religious, social idea of truth. We wrap ourselves in this enough to make people angry at us, to make our parents cry, simply because we think we've cornered truth. Perhaps it would shock us to recall Socrates when he gave his commencement address, by the way. He confessed that he only knew that he knew nothing. And that leads me to the next argument. If we really know nothing, why are we so arrogant pretending we know everything? None of you. I'm not talking about any of you, by the way. The wise King Arthur in Camelot said, only fools never doubt themselves. Consider who is wise and who is foolish in this famous Hindu fable. You probably read it to your children or read it when you were a child. 6 blind monkeys. I changed it just a little bit. I knew I'd get monkeys in here somehow. 6 blind monkeys had never seen an elephant before when they bumped into one on the road. One monkey touched the elephant's side and said, how smooth, like a wall. The second one touched the elephant's trunk and said, how round and long, like a snake. Another one touched the tusk, how sharp, like a spear. The next one touched the elephant's leg, how tall, like a tree. The 5th felt an ear, how wide, like a fan. And the 6th, final monkey, touched the tail, how thin, just like a rope. Well, then they got together, discussed, or rather argued about what they thought the elephant was like. It's like a wall. It's like a snake. It's like a spear. It's like a tree. It's like a fan. Each monkey preceding his argument with the words, no, you're wrong. But I think I've got a better idea of what it is. They fought and could not agree on what the elephant was. Just then our own Truth, Lois Truth, walked by and heard them arguing. She stopped and told them that only each person had part of the knowledge, and perhaps if they listened together, they could get more of the whole truth. So finally the men, or the monkeys rather, did listen to each other, and they did listen to her, and they still had no clue what elephant was, because it was elusive. Truth is elusive. Truth did inform them, though, oh, by the way, I am a foxy young thing. And what could they do? They were blind, they believed her. So recapping, truth is hard to come by. Never be sure that you alone know the truth. Active listening will help. But don't be paralyzed to act just because you don't think you have the whole truth. Remember the boy who stuck his finger in the dike because it was leaking while the rest of the town was having a committee meeting about what to do about it. My last piece of advice about seeking truth is to leave. Leave here and go somewhere else, like a third world country. Go build houses, dig wells, join the Peace Corps, become a missionary for a couple years, live somewhere else in another person's value system. Sometimes we are so sure that our American comfortable style of living, our values and our beliefs are the right ones. The rest of the world just doesn't have it right. If they did, they'd have the wealth, they'd have the things to throw away when they wanted to. If only the rest of the world felt and thought and acted like us, what a wonderful place it would be. Sometimes we think. I once was like the blind men, blind monkeys that is, touching an elephant when I joined the Peace Corps and served in West Africa. Going there, I was so sure that I would save the world by changing it. You know, young college kids, when they get ready for that, when they come home. Instead, the people of West Africa changed me, forcing me to question my values by opening my eyes, forcing changes in me in ways I would never have dreamed. We live in a throwaway culture. The rest of the world could be so lucky. When I walked down the halls last week and saw the garbage barrels overflowing as people were leaving school with their unused notebooks and almost like new books and pens and papers, I was reminded of a student of mine in West Africa in 1973. When he made a mistake because he couldn't afford more paper, there was no whiteout, and there was an ink in his journal, he took a razor blade and scratched the fibers of the paper just enough to get rid of the ink and not enough to put a hole in the homework. Nothing was thrown away. Another value system, another way maybe to seek a little part of the truth. Graduates, it was wonderful to get to know you. Thanks for putting up with me. So don't shake your head. Why are you shaking your head? I wish the best of things in your individual quest to find truth. And to all the rest of you, when asked, few adults remember what the commencement speaker said. So even if you remember none of the parables or jokes, tell listeners someday that your commencement speaker was young, handsome, a full head of hair, and looked good in tight jeans. Thank you.
Without them, I'd probably be reading from a blank sheet of paper today. There's the fourth floor to Hanson Hall. 50 years ago, it was a shooting range. Now, there's just a sign that reads, danger, asbestos, cancer and lung disease hazard. In light of all this,
it's up to me to decide. But how can I expect to win?
As I call your name, please come forward to receive your medal. A bronze medal is awarded to the student with the third highest academic standing. This year's recipient is junior Danny O'Young. Danny may be taking the ACT today. A silver medal is awarded to the student with the second highest academic standing. This year's recipient is Vidya Srinivas. A gold medal is awarded to the student with the highest academic standing. This year's recipient is sophomore Poonam Marai. He will be co-editor of the school newspaper senior year. Last evening at Honors Night, he received the Fathers Club Achievement Award in U.S. history. This past week, the entire school community witnessed his leadership as class president when he helped organize and run the annual carnival. Not only was it a huge success for the younger children at MPA, the carnival helped us see the class of 2000 as a dedicated, hardworking, yet fun-loving group of people. Much of that credit goes to the first recipient ever of the George Washington Savings Bank Leadership Award, Amar Trivedi. The check is being presented in the amount of $1,000.
On behalf of the Alumni Association, the recipient is chosen by vote of the upper school faculty and is presented in recognition of academic achievement, citizenship, and participation in school activities. The award is named in honor of Jean Landon Taylor, who served as instructor in English and head of the English department at Morgan Park Military Academy from 1929 to 1945. Captain Taylor's scholarship and extensive involvement in numerous student activities are recognized and honored through this award. This year's recipient has already won the Daughters of the American Revolution Good Citizenship Award, and last year was our school's nominee for the Wendy's High School Heisman Award. He played varsity soccer and basketball throughout high school and was captain of both teams his senior year. He could always, always, always be counted on by his teachers or friends to follow through on any request or favor, no matter how trivial or minor it was. Words that the faculty have used to describe him include trustworthy, loyal, kind, friendly, diligent, respectful, selfless, decent, religious, good-natured, kind, and generous. He refuses to compromise his values, which are sacred to him. In sum, he knows who he is, what he likes, and what he wants to be in life. Attending the Moody Bible Institute this fall, on his way to becoming a missionary pilot, is Benjamin Caspar, this year's 2001 recipient of the Jean Landon Taylor Award.